Good afternoon, AFD, second semester. You can see here that I've started a rotation. Um I've only got 3 views here, but this should be sufficient to demonstrate how to do this. Basically, you line things up. Now, you might notice that I've used graph paper to start this. This is sort of a preliminary drawing, so I'm kind of playing around with it. At the moment, you can see that I've got my side view, I've got a front view, and the much more difficult three-quarter view. Now here's the deal. I start out very loosely with a light blue pencil, and I start to tighten it up a bit with a darker blue. These are color erase pencils, which are really good. I actually prefer the darker one, but the light blue is very good for establishing the base. In other words, doing a very loose sketch and then gradually tightening it up until you get exactly what you want. So you can see that I've tightened up the initial sketch on the left with good old red pencil here. Seems like red pencils and the dark blue pencils are used interchangeably in animation. So you can see that I've lined everything up. Not only do I have the lines of the graph paper, I've established specific lines that describe pretty much exactly where the midsection, the top of the bottom of the shirt, the top of the shorts, etc., etc. Haven't put the one in there yet, but you can see where the lines are lining up with the bottom of the head. And look what I've done within the head and in various other shapes as well. This is Enzo. Let's just write it down here. Good old Enzo. And he's a soccer player, okay? He's an Italian soccer player. All right, so check out the shapes here. I don't want to go over this too hard, but there's a circle right in there. He's got a very triangular shaped body, a bit of a belly there, which is great. And his shorts recede a bit, and essentially another triangle that's been truncated a little bit. Check out the shapes. His nose is kind of squarish, but it's rounded on the radius or radii. Circles for eyes, very simple, half circles for ears, and so forth. Now, here we have the three-quarter view. So the thing is, there's a little bit of perspective involved in here. Not only in the feet, but in the hands. So you've got to adjust your guidelines here. And the eyes, too. There's a little bit of perspective. The eye that's further away from the viewer tends to look a little bit smaller. So I've cheated a bit here, okay? I admit it. I drew this in light blue pencil. So what I'm going to do is start to tighten that up. Now, really, what I should do is sharpen this pencil. It's getting a little dull. I've got the good old Statler sharpener. That really puts a good sharp point on these things. Now, you'll notice that I've dropped the nose slightly below that line. And this is at a point where you can start sort of judging the size of things. And you can see initially that I drew it a little bit too big. I think it works better slightly shorter, slightly smaller. There's a little bit of foreshortening going on here. So the nose should be should look a little shorter. So let's fill in that eye there, another circle. He's got nice kind of dreamy eyes. You can see the nose kind of overlaps the eye a little bit, so you got to be careful about where you place the pupil. He's got these eyebrows. Now, I'm trying to figure out whether I should... Initially, I just made the head flat, and then I noticed up here there's a little bit of he had a bit of a round head. So I'm going to try to mirror that circle that's drawn in the front view. So let's round it out. The ears... You can see where I've lined up the ears right there, and everything lines up. I might make that a little bit bigger. You can, at this point, you can start playing with the different sizes of different features. He's got kind of, you know, nice curly hair. You can see where the mouth lines up right there, and you know, we're using a little bit of perspective. Now I got to figure, does it look correct? Maybe that ball is a little flatter. Maybe I got to expand that slightly in the front view. Now the neck comes down. I'm going to get rid of that ball eventually. Where does his the top of his jersey come to? I can see that it lines up there. That's pretty good. I might just change that and give it a V-neck. Okay, and the shoulder looks a bit big on this side. There's the triangle working here. I noticed the shirt has dropped a little bit, but that may have something to do with the fact that there's a 3/4 view. Triangle working. The shoulder and the sleeve go to about there. Now, this is where you can start asking questions. Is it too wide? Maybe I need to bring that in a little bit. We don't want him with, I don't want this guy with too big shoulders. I want him to look like a pear, essentially. So I'm going to bring that in just a little bit. Now I can move the arm over slightly and even curve it. The body is overlapping the off arm, so to speak. I might even reduce the size of that. So let's get the hands correctly. You can see that the fingers line up roughly with that line there. So let's get that. I'm giving him kind of square tip fingers. There's the thumb there. And you won't see the rest of the hand because it's overlapped by the shorts. Shorts, as you can see, are lining up with that line there. Let's tighten that up. You can see that in his belly there's quite a circle there, a shape. A little bit of perspective so that back leg, the back shorts are a little bit higher. And I'm going to do the same thing with the socks and the shoes, just a little bit higher. Are they lining up? Well, that's due to the fact that it is a 3/4 view and there's perspective happening. So I want that top of the sock on the base foot in the foreground to essentially match this one here. And then it takes a little bit of imagination as far as getting roughly the shape of the shoes. Let's get this based on the baseline. The opposite shoe, or the shoe that's a little bit further back, needs to be a bit higher because of the perspective involved. Okay, so let's do that. It doesn't have to be massively higher. And he's a soccer player, so he's got soccer cleats. So notice that I put 3 cleats on there. I'm not really happy with the placement of that one. I would like them a little bit more evenly matched, or placed rather. In fact, I'm not happy with that either. I want that smaller. So let's do the same, and you can't see the other one on the other side. And let's get the nose happening. Sorry, the nose, that's an ear. Let's get the lines in the ear happening. We can tighten that up. And once I've got this done, essentially I can clean it up a little bit more and then go in and ink it and do the final. And there we have a 3/4 view. You can play with it, get it right, get it the way you want it. I'd probably fill that in solid black, give him a little bit of sideburn. Oh, I forgot his mustache. There we go. He looks good. And this, by the way, I haven't thought of a name for this guy. It's a soccer ball. What do we call the soccer ball? I don't know. Think about it. Tell me. I'm looking for suggestions. I'm learning how to speak English too. All right. That's it for today, folks. We'll see you soon. Bye now.